This is a yearling we call Sudden Impact. He's out of Bam Bam in a white 64 doe. He's a mainframe 6x7. I think he has roughly 35 points. He's got numerous kickers and stickers, a couple of drop tines. He's got exceptional beam length and tine length for a yearling. Sudden Impact's pedigree is pretty impressive. Many of the big name bucks off of our farm, as well as several of our best does, are directly in his pedigree. His full pedigree is actually on our website at wildernesswhitetails.com. This is a yearling we call TD. He's out of our AI program. His father's Timberjack. His mother is a doe we call Desiree. This is a yearling buck we call Jackson. He's also out of Timberjack and a bucky daughter. This is another yearling out of Bam Bam we call Smokey. This is another group of yearling bucks. This is a 2-year-old we call 36 Special. He's out of green 36. Had to dart him on July 20th. He broke off about a 7-inch sticker off his left G2. At that time he had 41 scoreable points. This is 419. He's a 2-year-old out of High Spirit and a bucky daughter. He was our biggest yearling last year. This is a 2-year-old we call Duke. He's out of our AI program. His mother's Desiree. We bred her to PA Geronimo. Desiree is also the mother to TD, who's probably the second biggest yearling we've ever produced besides Sudden Impact. We tranquilized Duke in mid-September and found he has 29.5-inch main beams, 4 tines between 11 and 12.5 inches, and his typical frame is just over 200 inches. This is Gambler. He's a 3-year-old out of Doc and one of our lucky daughters. 2 years ago in 2005, we had our first 2 yearlings that went over 170 inches. Bam Bam was 172 inches and Gambler was 176. Last year at 2, Gambler was 25 inches inside and scored 210. This is Bam Bam. He's a 3-year-old. He's out of White 79. White 79 was a bucky son. We bred with Bam Bam as a yearling, and he now has yearlings on the ground. Almost every one of his yearlings are really nice, with Smokey and Sudden Impact being the 2 best. This is a group of 3-year-olds. They're actually the only 3-year-olds on the farm other than Bam Bam and Gambler that aren't in our hunt reserves. Since we shoot most of the bucks we produce when they're 4-year-olds, the majority of our bucks are put out in our hunt reserves as either yearlings or 2-year-olds. This is Rocky. He's a 4-year-old. Last year at 3 he had 60 points, 30 on each side, scored 382. We bred Rocky pretty hard last year. It may have hurt him a little bit as he doesn't have quite as many kickers and stickers as he did a year ago. This is a buck we call Prince. He's a 4-year-old. He's out of Heavy, who was one of the first bucks we had that scored over 300 inches. This is White 116. He's a 4-year-old Bucky son. He scored 308 last year at 3. This year he has tremendous brow tines and looks to be a fair amount bigger overall. This is Big Guy. He's another 4-year-old Bucky son. He's got that Bucky look to him with that big wide typical frame. This is Reggie. He's a 5-year-old. It's out of green 36 and yellow 7, who is a Bucky daughter. This is Bucky. He's 11 this year. This is Sudden Impact again, the big yearling out of Bam Bam. This is Big Guy again.